Now welcome to another news from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, so we kind of got a interesting announcement today. We got the announcement that Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who directed a couple episodes of Marvel's Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, is now attached to direct that Star Wars movie we heard about months ago that was going to be written by David Lindoff.
Well, this isn't really an announcement. Let's call it what it is. It seems to be
It's a
Variety,
Deadline.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like it's on the Star Wars official website. It is being reported on by the larger ones that are usually very reputable. It's not like, some of the sites you may have heard of who will, a new Star Wars. No, this is sites that are generally accurate or have people in the know.
I mean, we've kind of been hearing about Lindoff being attached to writing Star Wars since March, and then he was spotted around the Disney lot in August. I heard there's also supposed to be another writer that's going to be attached to this project, but this is actually at least some news that another Star Wars movie is potentially moving forward to be greenlit and actually made someday.
Well, we've talked. I know I've talked a lot, especially over. I've talked a lot, especially over on the other channel, about the films just being in a complete disarray right now. We get announcements and then you hear nothing. We get the Rian Johnson trilogy announced 5 years ago. He'll say, yeah, I'm still doing it, and then we hear nothing about it from anybody else.
Well, what's interesting is Lindoff is yet another Bad Robot associate,
Yeah, he's a co-creator of Lost, I believe.
Yes. He also worked on the Star Trek movies.
The Star Trek, Star Trek, I think he did Prometheus as well.
Yep.
So he's kind of been known for doing franchises, and you can certainly like or dislike some of the things he's done with franchises. I know a lot of people do not like the reboot of Star Trek that kind of Bad Robot did. It's not very Star Trek feeling. It's more Star Wars feeling, ironically.
Ironic, no. So maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of Bad Robot anymore after, The Force Awakens was fine when it came out.
Yes.
The Last Jedi was just, it is what it is. And then The Rise of Skywalker, which was Bad Robot again, was... Yikes.
I give The Rise of Skywalker some passes because they had such a cleanup job to do that everything felt like it was crammed, like trying to fit two movies into one to fix what was done previously, kind of move us in a direction that you could tell that Abrams wanted to go in from the start, but... It's just a mess. We've talked about that. Some of that's not his fault.
No, yes and no. I mean, you needed a plan, right?
Well, and that's his fault that he decided to do one movie and be like, yeah, I'm only doing one, guys.
Well, sure, but it's not his fault that then Lucasfilm allowed the next person to come in to just do whatever they want and more or less ignore several of the things from the first film. So there's just blame to go around everywhere when it comes to the sequels.
There's a lot of issues.
It was not well thought out, right? That is the key issue. You didn't sit down, you didn't come up with a game plan and and you don't need to map out every little detail. It's not like you can't allow some flexibility, but to kind of let everybody wing it and do what they wanted as they came in. Clearly not the case. And so when we move to the next Star Wars film, is this a one-off? Because...
It's got to be. Because, the next trilogy's coming from Johnson, so...
I've kind of gotten to the point, look, I love Rogue One, and I think Solo is pretty dang good as well. It's not fantastic.
I think it's a little underrated, yeah.
It's underrated. It came out in the shadow of The Last Jedi, which is going to immediately... People are going to knock it for that alone, which, again, I understand. But I would like to see the trilogy format again. I would like to see... Let's get a well-thought-out trilogy, because, let's be honest, you can tell this one-offs and longer-form stories on Disney+. Let's recapture the magic of the films. Let's sit down and think out a trilogy, map it out, do it well. Let's go back to that old-school format with the films.
I agree 100%. I know you said the Skywalker saga has ended. Okay, well, start a new saga.
Exactly.
Write
That's
your own
exactly
new
my
story
point.
that takes place... either, I guess, in the past or move to the future.
Either
what
go Old
happened
Republic,
after?
Yeah, go Old Republic or go so far in the future that you don't have to,
Or far enough that you can just pass by and mention,
you could go 100
Rey
years.
Found, I remember Rey's original school or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You can pass by and mention the old heroes from the Disney trilogy, but you don't have to focus on them anymore.
I think you nailed it. Create your own saga. Do something not attached to anything we've seen before. or go, or go Old Republic because it's not overly familiar with a lot of fans. I know, yes, there are a lot of fans who love the Old Republic. I'm not saying that, but outside of that core fandom, not so much.
Old Republic is such a tricky thing because you say Old Republic and my brain goes...
You can go to any different time period.
Yeah. But I'm too afraid that they could mess him up. He's such a great, iconic character, and if Keanu Reeves isn't playing him, I don't want to watch it. But.
Well, I know. He just seems like he would... I don't know why. Look-wise, he would fit. I don't know if actual playing the character, but it's Keanu Reeves. Everybody loves the guy.
Oh, come on. John Wick... Neo, he could manage.
Well, yeah, my point is the Old Republic is such an expansive time period. There are many places on the map you could go. A lot of people go to Revan because of the game, and he's probably the most famous or well-known character from the Old Republic time period.
Well, he's just a fan cast, too.
He is.
Just like I still think Mission fan cast would be I can't remember her name, but the girl who played Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. She's my fan cast for Mission.
I don't know.
I think she could do it.
She's too old now. She's like in her 20s now. She doesn't look old, though.
She's one of those people who looks young forever.
Well, she did play that in Doctor Who, too, which is ironic. But anyway.
Yeah, let's move on. What do we think about the director, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy?
She directed 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. Is about the extent of her... I mean, she's done a lot of documentaries.
That's all I know.
She's won awards for documentaries, I believe. I don't know.
She does a lot of short documentaries. Yeah, she's won 2 Academy Awards for Best Short Documentary.
I mean, for better or worse, you have what Kathleen Kennedy said, that she would absolutely 1,000,000,000% hire a female director, which is, for me, look, I don't care.
Wasn't that Patty Jenkins, though?
Yeah, well, Patty Jenkins, we don't know what's happening with that. My point is, why I hate when you say that is not because I hate, the idea of a female director. I think we've had, Deborah Chow did some good work in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Bryce Dallas Howard has done good work. She directed probably the best episode of Book of Boba Fett, I believe. So, look, that's not what I hate.
Well, and there's a female director attached to Acolyte as well, right?
Yes, there is. But I don't know if the director, I think she's the showrunner. That's Leslie Headland. My point is, when you say that, you make it sound like...
That's the only reason you hired someone?
Yes. She's not qualified enough just on her own, but since she's a woman, she's the most qualified. Can we stop doing that?
Absolutely.
Because you belittle and you diminish when you actually do hire someone who deserves it by putting this this tag on them that you've done it because we want a woman in Star. Well, we have women directors in Star Wars already.
I want to feel like I was directed, when I was hired for my merits, not because they're checking off a box of things they said they were going to do.
Exactly. I mean, if you went for a job interview and they said, well, we had 10 men interview and they were all really good, but you're the only woman and we need a woman, so we're hiring you. How would that make you feel? Terrible.
I'd feel horrible. So I'd like to think that she is getting chosen, because I've never seen her documentary work, so I can't really judge how her work goes. I mean, she won Academy Awards from it, so there's clearly some talent and skill behind her.
Yeah.
I want to know if, hire people because they do a good job and that their skill set will translate well into Star Wars.
Yeah.
Documentary work is totally different from Star Wars.
Yes, night and day, yes.
I mean, as for Miss Marvel, the show was good. I mean, depending on which episode she handled, some of the stuff with the family stuff was really good and entertaining. But I don't know what she directed. Which episodes
we reviewed it. I said before, Miss Marvel is a fine show for just a show about, this young girl and her family and all these things. As a superhero show, I don't know, it doesn't work for me, but that's my opinion.
Right, the superhero stuff was a little awkward.
It was a little awkward, didn't work as well, but I thought it was a fine show for what it is. The dynamic of family and the cultural stuff was very interesting to me. It's stuff I don't know much about, so I found it intriguing. Sure. I don't know.
Does this translate all to Star Wars?
Yeah, all I'm saying is can we just stop and just... Because you're making it sound like the only reason someone gets hired is because of this, when you're taking away from them. In my opinion, you can disagree, and look, I believe women should get a fair shake at Star. I believe all these things. I think most people do. If most decent people believe, we all should get equal opportunities, and if she deserves the opportunity, then absolutely bring her in and let her do her thing without. And granted, this is not what Kathleen Kennedy has said about her, but she did say in the past that she wants to bring one in, and so. Is that why she's hired? Were there 10 other men, to use the example, were there 10 other men who deserve this job but are getting passed over? Which is not fair either, is it?
No. The best person for the job.
Yes. Can we please just go back to the idea that we are all equal?
We are.
And that the best person should win, essentially?
I mean, we've seen so many interesting and unique perspectives in Star Wars. If they can keep doing that, I'm for whoever they choose to pick.
Exactly. I mean, she is, I believe she's Pakistani, you know. So if she can bring in a unique and interesting perspective, yeah, I'm cool with that. But, you know,
I'm all for you. We love unique visuals on planets, and if she can bring, you know, an Earth culture, but still make it alien.
Yeah.
To a planet. I mean, that is amazing. The aesthetic, the feel, some of the way that, you know, they practice their religion would translate interestingly into trying to change it into more of a Star Wars format.
Potentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even in the High Republic, we've seen a lot of different cultures spring up. Like, I think we're reading in the new High Republic era, the Path of the Open Hand, who have a totally different Force belief than the Jedi.
Yeah, which is, you need to finish that book so we can get into that one. That's an interesting discussion about what they view of the Force, how they view the Force.
I mean, Disney is not rushing the next Disney Star Wars projects. They apparently have tentatively slated like December 19th, 2025 and December 17th, 2027. So it's not like we're getting anything in the imminent future. We've got at least 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
To go.
So we have no idea.
It's turning into the Avatar sequel. Will it ever come?
Well, I'd be fine with every 2 years a trilogy film, right? Just do that, and then Disney Plus keep doing shows like Andor, keep doing shows like hopefully Tales of the Jedi. Fingers crossed. Like, keep doing these things. Like, keep us entertained, and then have the movies be the event I think they were always meant to be, or always should be.
All right. With that, we'll move on to our staple Monday segment. And if you
I'm doing it.
No.
You might as well just go ahead because I'm doing it.
I'll just skip the intro.
New this week in Star Wars.
No, you don't even get to say it. You didn't even do it right. You forgot the etc. New this week
in Star Wars, etc. All right, let's get to it.
All right. So Tuesday we have the Black Series Christmas First Order Trooper going up for pre-order on Amazon at 12 p.m. Central Time. We have the book, Star Wars Every Day by Ashley Eckstein, with crafts and fun projects and life mantras for every day. This is, I think, pitched towards a little bit of a younger crowd. That's cool.
Yeah.
I did like her meditation-y type series she had. It did have good lessons to train young kids to kind of help them calm down, rein in their emotions, and experience the world outside.
Yes. Though outside, it does still exist. Wow. I think there are some in the younger generation especially who have forgotten that.
For our etc. on Tuesday, World of Warcraft has the Dragonflight pre-patch going live, and we play World of Warcraft, so...
I like that you randomly will throw in, like, personal things like new this week in Star Wars. Something
it says
I
etc.
Like. I know.
That's why there's an etc. You know this. Wednesday, Andor, episode 8 of 12.
Wow, episode 8 already.
8. And
Time
we
is
have...
flying.
All of the shorts for Tales of the Jedi. We've got 6 shorts in total, ranging from like 10 to 17 minutes each.
On Wednesday as well.
Busy. And you guys did tell us in the comments you wanted 2 videos, one on our thoughts on the Dooku section and one on the Ahsoka section. So that is what we shall do. Thank you, everyone who gave their input on that. We also have comics coming out on Wednesday, or I should say comic. After 25, which is still in the realm of the weird. It is, trust me. You don't even have to read it to know it's weird.
Don't read it, just know it's weird.
And on Wednesday night, once again, we will be having our weekly Discord voice chat talking about Andor Episode 8. So if you are a patron, if you're on Discord, everyone is welcome to join, express what they liked, what they didn't like, thoughts of what's to come, thoughts on what is past.
Sounds like the Christmas.
Well, we talk about all things Andor, and then sometimes we devolve into playing fun games and stuff.
Yeah. Christmas Carol, excuse me. Christmas Story, totally different thing.
Yeah. But that's it.
All right, well, that is all we got for you this time, so do take to the comments below and tell us what you think of today's news. Like, what do you want to see out of the films? Do you want to see trilogies? Do you want one-offs? And what do you think about the choices for this potential new Star Wars movie? Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.